Builder is saying and doing what a lot of people in America wish to do. That's tough. I get it. Some of you hear that. Some of you guys are mad about that. But there's a reason why he's had a meteoric rise over the past year. People are tired of this, bro. Do I gotta be the one? We're chimpanzee, orangutan, ape, retard. We're tired of y'all, man. No one wants to live around y'all. No one wants to go to Atlanta. No one wants to get on Spirit Airlines. No one wants to get on any budget airline. And nobody wants to go where they say we accept EBT and SNAP. Nobody wants to date black. The average black woman's 187. Like, do I gotta feed? A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. Nobody wants to be around you monkeys. Sorry. And honestly, if you get offended too, you're probably, because I'll tell you this, the black people that are intelligent aren't gonna be offended by what I'm saying. They know what I'm saying is true. There's a reason why Dark Dominicans sit there and say, I don't know black, Bobby. There's a reason why
Myron Gaines has been going out of his way to make fun of black people and do all kinds of stuff, man, you know, to disrespect the black American community. Now, ever since this situation with Chud the Builder has been going on, he's been talking to attorneys, he's been talking to W supremacists, and so many people that he can find to create a narrative to help Chud while acting like he doesn't agree with Chud, right? But he's made countless videos talking about black people, calling us the N-word with the hard ER. I wouldn't care if you, listen, you calling us the N-word, period, right? Now, he's often says, well, these are just words, right? But then we see him get mad at a person and he threatened to put a hands on a person and knock somebody out for calling him out of his name or calling him a derogatory name in his culture. This guy is the biggest joke, and he's the reason why foundational black Americans are delineating or separating from these people, right? Now, we've seen him go into W supremacist platforms, right? And try to sit down and act like he was accepted. Man, they went out of their way to let him know, what are you doing here?
Nothing, HT. Tell that you got to go find it himself.
Sir, listen, let's just stick with the Americans for now.
And then we got this
the naturalization here.
Like, bro, or you're with the standard guy. Yo, you're British, right?
Bro, you don't know you.
Yeah.
Hey, Myron, you're in a hostile area,
and I'm not
area,
scared
bro.
to have conversations with you guys. Doesn't matter.
Okay, well,
so you're gonna have to either kick me out or whatever.
You're not gonna have a conversation with him. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, well, so whatever. British guy, like, dude, I know you're mad about 1776.
Black men are like most likely to other black men.
Kick this.
Now, Myron tries real hard, really hard to be a mascot for these people, right? And they're constantly telling Myron, we don't accept you. You are not a part of us. Now, we admire you for going out and being our mascot and trying to help us get rid of all not, y'all know what I mean. I don't want to get the channel strike because, for telling the truth, you get in trouble. But Myron, man, like, this guy is crazy. Like, he goes, every chance he gets, he goes out of his way to disrespect the black community. And you notice how what he does is he'll see something that happen and he'll label all black people. He don't say some black people. He says the black community. He goes out of his way. So now in this situation with Chud, that's on video, he saw Chud the Builder going around calling black people chimps and chimp out and all this kind of stuff. But he goes online and make excuses like this.
Just keep it real. I'm probably going to get a lot of heat for this, but I'll just say it anyway. After talking with some of you guys that saw the footage, what I've looked at myself, if the eyewitnesses are right, Chud is innocent, bro. That's going to piss a lot of people off. Let me be clear about this, bro. I don't agree with IRL streaming and antagonizing people. I don't agree with that. I even messaged him myself and said, hey, bro, look, you got to move different. You got to be more intelligent. Literally, like the day or two before he got arrested. And he's a nice guy. He responded, right? He said thank you and everything else like that. But I do think that he's innocent. I do. Just based off the facts and how quickly they arrested him without even having the pump fund video, I do think that more than likely this arrest was politically motivated. Very important that you guys understand. I don't think the police had this video at the time they made the arrest. Rather, they said, you know what? Let's just arrest him, absolve ourselves of the responsibility, protect him too, because if he walked away from this, it would have been national news and they might try to come and kill him because they've doxed his address many times. But I've heard from multiple people that watched the live stream, who, by the way, are probably going to be the most credible witnesses because they actually saw what happened. To me, it looks like a self-defense case. And this has come from people that watch the stream. Yeah, bro. Guys, again, I don't agree with what he does. But at the end of the day, that doesn't give someone license to punch you in the face and attack you, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Everybody has the right to self-defense. It doesn't matter. Even if, like, he might have said some things that you're mad about or you don't like. From what I understand, he never called this guy a slur until he came up to him and he said, you're going to chip out. That's when he hit him. But apparently he didn't even drop the N-bomb during this interaction. But the dude had been talking about attacking Chud on Facebook prior to this incident. So in other words, he had already made threats against Chud.
The crazy part is if that was a black guy, Chud was a black guy going around up to W's and calling W's all kinds of, names and telling them to stop chimping out, right? Myron would be all over here calling us all kinds of primate names and saying that we're violent, we're vicious, we're tired of this, that, and the third. And he'll label the whole black community for that one person that's doing something. This is the hypocrisy of a lot of these people that come over here, man, and they're trained and conditioned to see us through the same stereotypical lens that this country has portrayed us in, right? He's the poster child for this, right? So now when Chud does something, Chud is just a lone wolf, right? It's not the whole W community, it's just Chud. But when somebody black does something, it's all black people. That's why he always says, I'm tired of you. He goes ham, right? But remember when the guy was online calling him names and he snapped out and the guy was just using words and he threatened violence?
Talking about haram this, haram that. You're a kafir that. Murtad, all these other dads told me this. Call me Murtad to my face, knock you out. Extremely disrespectful. That they would never in person, ever. Because they know that it would be a warrant to knock him out right then and there.
But he even uses his platform to bring on these defense attorneys. And now this guy is supposed to be like the #1 defense attorney in America. Now, mind you, when Chud has a public defender, right? But he has, for some reason, they found a way to give him the #1 lawyer in the state of Tennessee. The #1 lawyer. For some reason, like through the rolling of the dice, Chud got this guy, man. This guy's supposed to be the cream of the crop, right? He's the dude, he's the go-to guy in Tennessee for cases like this. For somehow, some way, they got him this lawyer, right? But this one lawyer is being showcased, right, on Myron's channel, man, and they're talking like this.
Another question is Chud going to testify? I mean, the best source for a lot of this evidence would be Chud's testimony on the witness stand, which he's allowed to do. But the moment he takes the witness stand, he's like any other witness. His character and his credibility are subject to cross-examination. And I guarantee you the prosecutor is going to bring up every clip from social media that he can where Chud is saying the N-word to black people to their face. And this is not a majority black community where this happened. Montgomery County, there's a Montgomery County in Alabama that's 80% black, but that's not this place. Montgomery County in Tennessee is about 70% white, about 20% black. But that means on a jury of 12, statistically, a couple of those jurors are going to be black people.
Yeah.
And how are they going to receive those videos? And you might say, well, it shouldn't matter, but it does matter. I mean, we're all human. We're all fallen human beings. And the criminal justice system is not some algorithm. It's not some AI system. It's just human beings making human judgment calls. And how is Chud going to take the witness stand and have all those videos? Imagine there's a jury panel with 2 black jurors on it, and they're going to see video after video after video of Chud calling black people the N-word, asking them if they're going to chimp out, if they're going to do the ooga booga. I mean, that may be funny on social media, but it's going to be a lot less funny. There's a clip that went out of his arraignment this morning in court. And it's funny because Chud is there. He's white. His defense lawyer is there. He's white. The prosecutor is there. He's white. The judge is there. He's white. The bailiff is there. The bailiff was one of the biggest black guys you've ever seen. And that bailiff is just giving Chud the eye. Like you would not believe. He knows who this guy is, and he's just eyeballing him. What do you think that
this guy?
That's the guy.
Yeah.
So imagine that guy's on the jury.
Now, mind you, while Myron is still going out of his way to be accepted, these alt-right W supremacists is still telling him, listen, we don't accept you. Still, they telling him this to his face. But you know what he's doing? He's not labeling all W's this way. He's just labeling them lone wolf. He labels all of us into one category, right? But when they do this to him, he just used them as lone wolf, but forgives all the other groups, right? Look at this.
I can't believe how quick that was. I can't believe how fast that was.
Can I make this interesting? Can I make this interesting real quick? Myron, you were in my space the other day, and I said, you're doing a great job calling these. you know, if we take this country back, we want it for white folks. And would you go home and you said, I was born here and I'm not going anywhere? And this is where I think the problem is with working with non-whites is that once you think you help us, that you're just going to stay in our country. Do you still stand with that answer?
Bro, you look, man, I know you're trying to get a clippable moment here for your
No, it's the truth,
thing or
man. This
whatever.
is the
Like,
issue with
I
whites
love how
working with
we're here talking about a
non-whites.
problem. We're over here talking about a problem, then you bring it right back into, this whole white thing. Like, dude,
This
all
whole
you do
white
is
thing is
bitch.
what built this
Shut up,
country, Myron.
dude.
Hey, man, you
All you
said
Hey,
is
listen,
try to
I'm
sit
in.
here and be
I am in
divisive.
Florida. I'm in
Like,
Florida, and I will knock you out on camera.
all right, we're not
okay,
gonna.
buddy,
I'm not gonna
try
have
it.
violence in the space. It's not even my
Try it.
space. I think Ian's having issues, so like, I'm not gonna allow that in Ian's
It's
space.
mutual combat.
I understand, but like, listen, people are listening.
There
They're
is no
flipping
mutual
things.
combat. I don't with you, bro. Like,
Well
you're a weirdo.
then, why are you in? Why do you Browns think
Shut
you
up.
could stay in my country?
Look,
No,
Listen,
it's the
look.
truth.
I'm not even
You
talking to
didn't
you right
build this
now. I'm
country,
not
Myron.
even gonna address you right
You're
now.
you're
Look,
not from this country. Why do
yo.
you think you can stay?
Anyway, like I
No,
was
it's a
saying,
it's a it's a
Sam,
point, Myron.
I'm not
Answer
well,
it.
talking to you, man. I'm not
actually,
talking to
here's
you.
a better.
Man, that's so funny. Every time I see this, man, they go out of their way to let him know, listen, man, we appreciate what you're doing, but you ain't one of us. You would never, listen, we letting you know up front, dude. Once we finish with them, man, you got to skedaddle. We getting you up out of here, man. We don't want you around our women. We don't want you around us. You're not even one in these spaces, right? So you're one of them. When they finish with their tools, they break them. They don't like you more because they know that you're a traitor, right? So they going out of their way to let you know where you stand with them. But he don't care. But see, somebody like Nick Fuentes, right? Nick Fuentes, he rubbed a lot of his supporters the wrong way because he came out and he really called W's to the carpet and started holding W's accountable for some of the things that they do. And they couldn't believe that Nick Fuentes was speaking this way. I think Nick Fuentes looked over the fence and saw the way that they was talking to Myron and treating Myron. And some of them, he said, uh-oh, wait a minute. By 2040, man, like 52% of this country damn near going to be Hispanic. I better get back on this side. I better chill out, man. So what he did was he started to say this.
People now say he's a martyr. He's a martyr. Well, the black people were chimping out. Well, I don't know. If I were standing around and a black person was live streaming near me and they started saying things offensive to white people, yeah, maybe I would feel a certain type of way about that. Maybe, isn't that sort of our whole thing? And there's something ironic about that. You have a lot of people who are pro-white, and it's all about racial pride, and it's all about beating their chest. And it's all about saying, oh, I'm white. Don't try that stuff around me. Don't insult white people around me. So much racial pride. But then there's this double standard where it seems that white people want to go out in some cases and offend the sensibilities of other people. They feel emboldened, for example, to use harmful stereotypes about other people, say racial slurs about other people, be provocative towards other people, and that's fine. That's free speech. That's funny. Hey, man, can't you take a joke? Hey, man, it's just a word. And when black people get pissed off or take umbrage or they attack, oh, well, you're chimping out. But then when the roles are reversed, if somebody says something anti-white, if someone says something exclusionary to white people, it's those same white people that puff up their chest and say, how dare you? You would never say that about a minority.
So, and this is why I'm so glad, we chose to separate from these people. Because they'll do anything that they can possibly do to be accepted. They would totally abandon their culture, their language, their foods, their everything in order to have a seat under the table of these W's, right? And they let them know you ain't accepted. Yeah, you go out here and talk bad about black people, the Negroes of America. Listen, let me tell you something. Let me talk to the family for a minute. We have never created laws to harm Mexicans, any Hispanics. We have never created an army to go into Africa to hurt anybody. We have never stolen any natural resources from anybody. We have never used media to harm the image of any Africans or Hispanics or Arabs or anybody. We have never done none of these things. Now, we know people who have done it. We know governments that have done it. We have done nothing. You guys have come into our communities and opened up business and become millionaires off of us, right? Now, the problem is we may have some issues going on in our communities within ourselves, just as every ethnic group does in their country, right? But for some reason, you overlook everything that these other nations have done to your country, and you hate us. Everybody hates us. We've never done anything. We've never put apartheid on nobody. We never colonized anybody. We never put drugs in anybody else's communities like that by the shiploads. We never done none of these things. We never put mercury in your waters. We've been over here in our communities trying to figure things out. But for some reason, everybody hates us. That lets you know just how strong the mental is on this W supremacist thing, what it's done to these people, man. They would never accept you, but they try to do anything and anything they possibly can do to be accepted. But y'all let me know what y'all think, man. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV, leave your comments in the comment section. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time, peace.